What's up, guys? Quick video blog. It's Drew here, cruising my S550 on the way to the gym. It's early morning, 6 a.m. in New York. All right, so I do this every day. This is my routine, just so that I stay on my game. I wanted to make this video addressing another critic of mine, Edith Esguerra. Okay, so I want to make a video addressing you because the reason why I want to address you is because you came on my video, and the first thing that you did on my video was address me as somebody who's stupid. And I have to respond to that and I feel compelled to respond to that because I think that anybody who can listen to my videos and come to the conclusion that I'm stupid is just not listening. They're just not listening. If anything, it makes sense to say that maybe I misrepresented facts, or maybe I wasn't aware of certain facts. But to dismiss me as stupid is going to warrant a different kind of response from me. And of course, what am I going to do? I'm going to say, okay, well, if you're so smart, explain it in your own words, which is what to me, that's an expression of intelligence. Intelligence is not simply being able to read and regurgitate information. So a lot of people I went to school with that could do that, right? And I couldn't do that actually in school because I would always have so many questions. So there's a lot of people that went to school that got better grades than me in school, but in life, they could not surpass me. In life, they didn't become CEOs. A lot of them work for other people, and they didn't become CEOs of their own companies. They didn't become founders of their own companies because they weren't willing to ask the relevant questions. Now, I'm always willing to ask questions. I'm always willing to find out what's really going on. What's the real story here? And as a leader, and I don't mean to boast, but as an alpha, as a leader, I need to be aware of the full situation. I'm not comfortable as a man simply just following directions. I'm just not. I will follow people and I will follow the advice of experts, but not without asking questions and understanding somewhat what's going on. So that being said, Edith had commented and wrote a long paragraph to me about why she's smarter than me and why I'm stupid. So I called her bluff and I said, that's why people like you don't make it. Because I know that a very small percentage of people on this planet, let alone this country, the United States, I know that a very small percentage of people actually achieve financial freedom and financial success. And I know that I'm one of the few people that have. And I know that I can verify it, and I know that I can prove it. So I called her out on that, and I said, well, if you're so smart, you should be super successful. Why are you so worried about $1,000 a month from UBI? And her response was that she owns businesses and she gave her 20-year-old daughter a business and this and that. And so my response was okay, so what's the name of your business? Isn't that a normal question? What's the name of your business? Why is it that when I look up your full name, there is no business under your name? And she's like, well, I want to hide from trolls and I want to hide from critics and I want to hide from people. I don't want to drag the business that I've built for over 22 years into the mud. And first of all, I would never go and try and destroy your business just because of a difference of opinion. That's number one. And number two, she kept mentioning our business. She kept saying her and her husband's business. She didn't say my business. She said our. So, which has led me to believe that her husband is the real CEO. Her husband is the real go-getter, and she's just a beneficiary, which I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking because I would honestly, I would do the same thing with my girlfriend if my girlfriend didn't have her own career. I would put her to work in my business. But my girlfriend has her own career. She's 25 and she's a teacher and she's going on to be an administrator. She has her own career. She doesn't need my money. I mean, she appreciates the fact that I have plenty of money and that I could support a family if we were to get married, but she doesn't need it, So in any case, I was saying to her, listen, I understand that you're the beneficiary of some person who may have made a lot of money, but that doesn't put you on my level. I'm not a beneficiary. I didn't marry into something. I didn't inherit something. I created this myself. And you'll see that on the path to creating wealth yourself, on the path to fighting your way up, you learn to size people up pretty quickly. You learn to find out very quickly who is really about it and who isn't. And to me, It screams fraud when somebody cannot express or explain what they read, cannot express or explain what they read in their own words, cannot express or explain what they do without citing somebody, without citing a partner, and is not willing to share the name of the business that they own. Saying that, oh, we'll bring down if your business was truly around for 22 years, none of my criticisms will be able to bring it down. My businesses have not even been around anywhere near that long. Anywhere near. I'm only 34 years old. My businesses have not been around that long. And yet, none of your criticisms will be able to bring it down. None of them. So that being said, I think that you're a fraud. And I'm not even saying this to like offend you or to insult you. I just think that it's usually the people who are frauds that come at me this way. Because at the end of the day, there is a conflict of interest on your end. There's no conflict of interest on my end. So that's why I was saying, why would you argue so hard for a measly $1,000 a month? I can argue against it because I don't feel lost. Like if the $1,000 a month does not arrive to me, it makes no difference. At the end of the day, I know that if the government just reduced my taxes, I would be saving an additional $30,000 a month, not a year, a month. So to me, as I said in my previous videos, for the government to tax me the way that they currently do, either way, if they stay the same or if they increase, and then to hand back $1,000 to me is a slap in the face. I think it's insulting, and also I'm not really eager towards it because at the end of the day, if I wanted to make an extra $1,000 a month, if I really wanted to do that, all I would have to do is sign a new partnership deal. All I would have to do is take in one more client. In fact, just for me, just taking in one additional client is several times more than $1,000 a month. So for me, it doesn't make a difference because thank God I founded and created a business that has that much margin and that has that much growth ability. And it's not, and thank God that it's legit, it's legal, it's based on knowledge, and it doesn't involve, like, it's not heavily dependent on other people. It's not heavily dependent on, capital from other people or investors. It's just off the knowledge that I've accumulated working so hard, working at different companies. I'm basically selling, like, my main business, Scale Operations Management. I'm basically selling my knowledge and my expertise. You know what I mean? I'm basically doing that. I'm consulting with these people. I have several clients that have large assets, and they need these assets to go to certain e-commerce investment vehicles. And that's exactly what I do. I say, okay, we're going to put it in this. We're going to create this business. We're going to scale this business. We're going to make it bigger. And that's what we do. And it works out. And then I have the two other businesses. Barracuda 7 Holdings is a business that buys other businesses. And New York Duck Cleaning is a duck cleaning business in the tri-state area with a high lifetime value per customer value. So that's why I love that business. So anyway, long story short, you look my name up, you find out many things about me. Like everything that I've said that I do is a fact. You'll find that out if you look me up. My full name is Andrew Upabi. Upabi is spelled a certain way. It's spelled Ukpabi. You look up my first name Andrew, you look up my last name Upabi, you'll find stuff about me. You'll find, as well as my screw ups from many, many, many years ago when I was in my 20s. You'll find out that I do own 3 companies. You'll find out that I am who I say I am. You'll find out that I have no reason to bullshit anybody. So, you might see other things. You might see the funding partnerships and the deals that I did with various merchant cash advance companies. You might find some of the people that I service. You might find some reviews on my company. But the point is that, like, I'm a real dude. Like, you'll find out stuff about me. There's no reason for me to get on this thing and to lie to anybody about what I do. So that being said, if you're watching this, Edith, I think that honestly, instead of going online and calling people stupid, especially if you're not willing to answer the call to your bluff, you probably shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, because like you came on with this. First of all, you're not using your real name, and that's okay because neither am I, but I'm willing to release my name. You're not releasing any information about your company, but you're asserting that you have all this like stuff and you have all this experience. So you got to think about it. You're telling me that you're smarter than me, but you're not willing to express what you've read in your own words. You're telling me that you own companies and that you're rich and that I have no right to talk to you in a certain way. Okay, you're not willing to share those companies. So there's no way to verify the things that you said that you do, or that the things that you said that you are. And I think that that is a red flag. I know that it's a red flag, because people like me who fought so hard to become, like, I didn't fight so hard to become who I am and where I am. So some fucking loser on the internet can, make statements about me that aren't true. So at any given point in time, I am ready and willing to show somebody that I am who I say I am. And that's why I'm just like, Google me, just look me up, look up my companies, go ahead, go right ahead. It's all there. I'm not a bullshitter. I have the same approach to business as well. In business, I'm not a bullshitter either. And people know it. People know that when they deal with me, they will get what they see is what they get. And usually what they see is they actually get more than what they see typically. People know that, and people know from experience that dealing with me is typically a profitable venture. Dealing with me is typically a value-inducing venture. And that's how I built my reputation in business. I didn't have the relationships. Every relationship I have is earned. I built it through knowledge and experience, and I did the hard work. I actually went the long road. You know that road that everybody laughs at you for taking? I'm the one who went down that road. The one that people say, oh, you're stupid if you believe that. You're stupid if you do that. That's the road I took. There's no shortcut. There was no handout of capital. There was no relationship that just brought me there. I used my knowledge to gain the respect of relationships, new relationships, old, current relationships. I use my knowledge to build my own capital and attract capital. My knowledge was the base. My relationships were not the base, and capital were not the base. I earned this through skills, hard work, and dedication, and that's it. So if you're going to call me out on the internet, you got to be prepared not only to have facts to back yourself up, but be prepared to disclose who you are as well. Because anybody can be anybody on the internet, but I'm not just anybody. I am who I say I am. And I am a business professional, and I'm a businessman, and I'm an entrepreneur with actual companies. I'm not just an entrepreneur in title. I have actual companies, actual experience that I can point to in real life. And I think that if you're going to come at me on the internet, regardless of who you are, if you're going to if you're gonna say to me that I'm not who I say I am, and I'm able to prove who I am, you should be able to do the same. That's all. You should be able to do the same. And that's pretty much it. Also, it would be helpful to you guys, like, if you're listening to my videos, don't get offended by what I'm saying. I'm simply presenting my opinions. That's it. I may miss out on some facts. I'm okay with being corrected, but I don't like when people just post links, because I can just post links too. I don't like when people post links. If you're going to post a link, express what the link says. Express it in your own words. Express it in your own words. Show that you have some kind of ability to comprehend, understand what you've read. Don't just parrot info. There's so many different sources that I could just post a link in response. And where does that get anybody? Where does that get anybody? Furthermore, again, like I've said before in these other videos, I'm not making these videos to attract an audience. I'm not making these videos for the sake of attracting subscribers. I'm not making these videos for the sake of attracting clients. I'm not making these videos for the sake of anything else other than expressing my opinion and seeing the feedback that I get from people who may have a different opinion. The possibility of learning something or exchanging information. That's really it. So at the end of the day, that's the purpose of my videos. I'm not looking for any kind of promotion. I'm not looking for any kind of attention, for clout, whatever. I have that already in spades in real life. I don't need that. I don't need online attention. I have it in real life. If I want attention in real life, I just drive my Benz down the street, or I just pull up at my house and people look at me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need internet attention to validate myself. Like, I come from a generation, I was born in 85. I know the difference between real life and internet fake life, okay? And in my case, my real life and my internet life are one and the same, okay? So, in fact, anything that you see on the internet is vastly understated. I actually have more in real life than I show on the internet. So, anyway, long story short, if you're gonna come at me, if you're going to come at me, just be authentic, be real. Don't Don't come at me with some hard insults and then hide behind a anonymous profile, a fake name, and assumptions and statements about where you are in life that you're not willing to show and prove, because that just means that you're full of shit. That's all I got to say. Peace.